What if the places you fish, hunt, hike, and decompress just vanished?
And what if robots were given 10 years to do whatever they want while we just sat back and watched?
Yeah, that's what's actually happening right now, and we got to talk about it. Let's go.
And this episode is brought to you by two clever fellas, Backbone Coffee and First Form. Watch or listen.
I challenge you as a believer, let that power get out.
Blind people received their sight. People have been carried in. We're healed. Nobody touched them. Nobody laid a hand on them. We just praised the Lord and spoke the word of faith, and God began to heal the people.
Here's a fish.
Yeah, let's go!
Oh my gosh, he's a big.
He landed inside.
He kept me from. God, look how massive this is.
The Casting Faith Podcast.
Fish on.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Casting Faith Podcast. I'm Charlie, and this is Sean. And we're about to hit you with some fishing fails, wild news, and some totally crazy tech stuff.
I always hit the wrong button.
Dude, my headphones are backwards. Something's up. It's all right. And we're back.
All right.
Time to catch up. Man, how's it going?
It's going good, dude. It's going good. Dude, these new flavors. It's not First Form Energy anymore. It's Form Energy. And the Screamin' Freedom got better.
Dude, they've all gotten better. So this isn't just, these are a sponsor, get them, whatever, but we're just genuinely talking about it. We got this one early. It's called Blue Blitz. Mm-hmm. And I remember the Blue Raspberry First Form, the first version of it. They've totally changed it. All I thought they were going to do was just change the skin on the can.
Yeah.
And they've made them better. And so they were
good.
Great before, and now they're just top tier. So this tastes amazing. It's like blue slushy / cotton candy-ish type flavor. It's really good.
200 milligrams of caffeine.
So good. So good.
Yeah,
up there with the competitors that you already all know and probably enjoy.
And it sounds like they're in pretty much every gas station now.
Yeah, I know they're in a lot of sheets.
Yeah.
So
they're coming out.
Yeah, it's good. So here's how that works. Like now you can go try it at a gas station, and if you like them, you can buy a case from us. That'll help us out a lot. So, but they're solid, dude. I'm so pumped about it. They got a grape one coming out called like Grape Smash, I think, and we're getting a couple cases of that soon. So it'll be good. It's exciting. But yeah, man, things have been going good. I've like been in a hectic spiral of life. Like I have so much going on that it's getting hard to juggle.
Yeah.
And like I'm in 2 college classes right now, and they're like 8-week courses. So it's like 16.
Fast forward.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like 16 weeks worth of work in 8 weeks, all while I was away at camp and summer camp, junior high camp, Ohio District. It was awesome. It was incredible. Always is. Great leadership. Cody Updegrave, Brother Corey Boyd, Christian Bolgren do a phenomenal year of leading these camps every year. And we always get so much out of it as a camp supervisor, counselor, whatever you want to call it. It's one of the only places you can go and pour out and get filled at the same time. And so I've always come back better. And so it's been great, and every year it gets better. But all on top of the college, the camps, all of that stuff, doing the podcast, working. It's just been a lot going on.
Yeah, it is a lot.
And I've barely...
Sounds stressful.
Yeah, like, yeah. And I'm trying to like figure it out, because it's like, I enjoy sleeping, you know? And we talked about this with Brother Fred about the importance of sleeping and getting good sleep quality and all the things. But like, I went to bed at midnight the other night. I had to upload this past week's episode. Something came up with our editor and our friend who helps us out with all of that. And so I had to upload it at home, and it was like taking 2.5 hours. And so I had to stay up to make sure it dropped on time. And so I was up until midnight, and I only got like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, but I was more awake for the opening shift at work.
Wow.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
Must have woke up right in your rhythm.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to figure that out. And so I'm like, am I just going to bed too early and getting too much sleep? And that's what's making me feel so
I wish that was a
exhausted.
solution.
Yeah. So just stay up late, get less sleep. That can't be right though, you know? But I've also overconsumed the caffeine to just get through this weird stuff. But would like to get out fishing, but the weather has been garb.
Oh man. So me and my son fished a tournament Monday night, it'd be 2 weeks ago now, when this drops. But the rain was sideways rain.
Oof.
Wind was like 15 to 20 mile an hour and just dumping rain. And we stuck it out. We stayed out there about 5 hours, and that was miserable. It was like a buzzer beater, for us to place. We had, when we got out there, we blasted off. I'd never been to this lake before, so I didn't even know where to fish. I just had read a couple forums, kind of looking for spots to start and looking at contour maps and stuff. And I started up in this marina thing. I don't even know. Like, there's so many docks on this lake that it's crazy. But we tucked up into a cove and started fishing wacky worm on docks, and just happened to throw a wacky worm next to the right piling on a dock, and a little pound bass came out and grabbed it. And that was the only scoreable bass that we had all day until 8:45. Lines out where it was at 9:15. At 8:45, we pulled up on this rock wall, and it's like a concrete poured wall, so it's like nice and smooth side. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna do it like Dustin Connell did to win Redcrest. He was up against a wall at a dam and started throwing a mooch minnow along the wall, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. That's what I'm gonna do right now. It's like, might as well throw a Hail Mary. And dude is like, pop, 2 smallmouth.
Nice.
They're scoreable, and put us in 5th place.
That's cool,
And
man.
Pretty cool. Buzzer beater.
And that's the first one with your boy.
Yeah, first one ever.
Oh, nice, man.
And Trenton was with me. He loved it. He loves fishing now.
That's
He
amazing.
wore his fishing jersey.
This is the win.
The
Bigger win, rather than place.
He's hooked, man.
Is that he's all in now, which is awesome.
He wants he's like, he wanted a gaming computer for his birthday, and now he's like, I don't want that. I want a bait caster.
That's awesome. That's the best, dude. And it'll kind of ties into our topics today, because like, man, kids these days are just so on the screens and in video games, and it's even my daughter yesterday. She was like, "Daddy, and she's like, 7 years old. She goes, "Dad, do you have a high quality video camera?" I went, "What?" She goes, "Do you have a camera, like a really good she said recording device. That's what she said. "Do you have a really good recording device?" And I was like, "Why?" And she goes, "Well, because me and Kendall want to do a podcast." And I was like, both proud, but also like, you're 7. And so it was one of those things where I was like, let's go outside and jump on the trampoline. And so we did. And we were outside the rest of the night, and it was fun. But I'm like, I was both proud and like concerned, like, because all of the consumption of this stuff, like, you've heard the terms brain rot and stuff. Yeah. Like, these kids are so overly doing the digital stuff that they can't even like have a real conversation with somebody. Yeah. And things that should be great, that we know from like life, are good for you. Going out and experiencing camping, going out and fishing, going out and like I was a latchkey kid growing up, which we talked about before. Like, just getting outside and touching grass, like these things that are important for development, these kids are just not getting. And so when you told me that Trenton was loving on the fishing, that made
he
me
learned a couple of major life lessons in that tournament, and it makes me want to just take him to every single tournament. But he had a mental breakdown halfway through. I mean, it was wind and rain, and he had lost, like, it was every bit of a 3-pounder. He lost at the boat.
That's frustrating.
On a crank, he had it on a crankbait, and he lost it at the boat. And that would have put us in the money. We probably could have got second place if we would have had that fish and called out that smaller largemouth. But so he lost that fish. The rain, the wind.
The wind really went down that day.
And we were sitting in the back of this cove, and he was just losing it. He was like, I want to go home. I can't feel my fingers. He's like, I hate fishing.
Oh, no.
He's like, and then like he had spent his own money to buy a Whopper Plopper, like $13. Ugh. And he threw it in a tree, and that was the end. And he had lost it. And I was like, all right, dude, calm down. We're out here. we paid to enter this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of competition, is dealing with emotions like this, and you have to push through. You can't get angry. You just have to move on. And
even Brother Charlie throws his steelhead rig down on the ground. when
Brother
he's not-
Charlie has to learn this lesson too.
I'm done.
Yeah, so it took about 30 minutes. He just sat down, took a break, warmed his hands up, and he got back to fishing, and we started catching fish again. When we went back in, like his whole demeanor changed. His attitude got better, and he was fine. But when we went to weigh in, he was like, "This is the coolest thing ever," and he loved it. And so on the ride home, I was talking to him. I said, "So what did you learn today?" And he said, his words exactly was, "I learned that if you want to do fun things, sometimes you have to go through really hard things."
That's awesome. Man, yes. Trenton.
And so to do fun things, you have to do hard things sometimes.
That's awesome, man.
And that was a lesson that an 11-year-old learned at a bass tournament.
Very good.
And it was awesome.
That's awesome.
One other thing, the talking about getting kids out and stuff, the Ike Foundation, Mike Iaconelli, he's a like 38-year Bassmaster fisherman. But he's got a thing called the Ike Foundation, and it's like to get kids out fishing. So his whole thing is to get kids involved in tournaments, get kids involved in just getting out and getting their hands on fishing poles and fishing. And the whole thing is learning this mental toughness. And it's like, there's so much life lessons that comes from not just fishing by itself, but like
that principle, do the hard things.
Especially tournament fishing, when there's stakes involved and when there's pressure of finishing, so there's so much that kids can learn from that. And I can't wait to see, like, over the summer, how many tournaments that we fish. And I can't wait to see like how he takes those principles and applies them to his everyday life.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Cause,
so true.
Because he has problems getting through tough times, so that really, really helps.
Yeah. That's
helped
good,
him
man.
a lot. Yeah.
That's awesome. Speaking of things going sideways though, in those hard situations, have you seen this is recent news. There's a major lawsuit against the MLF. Apparently they're being sued for wrongful death of a boating accident that happened not too long ago. I think it was in April.
Yeah.
Where 3 people died, and they were one of the family members that they're suing for it. But apparently, like,
that was a Toyota series or something, right?
Yeah, I think so. And it's horrible, man. Nobody wants to see that happen on these lakes. And we've talked about this in other episodes, how like you got to be safe out there. You got to kind of know what you're doing. But like liability waivers were signed and all these things, but they're still getting sued. It's just sad that something like that happened. 3 men passed away and the guy lived, I think.
That's not the only accident.
No, there's been
That's
3.
insane.
Yeah. Like there's been so many, there's been like an uptick in these accidents. And like, it's tough because like, I don't know about you own a boat. You're new to it too. So it's like, your way around the boat, you know how to use a boat. It's not like you went in fresh, like you had some experience behind you, but these people are getting involved, which what we just talked about. You should get involved in these things. You learn good things, but like the safety aspect of it, like is there enough being done with these people who are just going out?
No, man. I think a lot of people miss the requirement. Maybe you can look it up real quick on the boater safety requirements in Ohio. I think there's like, if you're born before 1982 or something like that, you don't have to take the course. But I think a lot of people aren't taking boater safety, and then they're just buying boats or renting boats
just to go and be a part of these tournaments.
And they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Not to be a part of it. So this tournament that had the accidents, the Toyota series, you have to qualify for that. So that's not like the Phoenix series where you just go out. But yeah, man, there's so many.
This is a different one, actually. It might be a different one.
Where the guy died.
There was 3 guys that died.
Yeah, that was a Toyota series.
It was in It was in April. I don't know. It says like a $1,000.
Lewis Smith Lake.
There's like $115,000 reward for this win.
Yeah. Toyota Series MLF.
Yeah. And so, but they're suing because of it. And they're saying like that the tournament that morning was really cloudy. The conditions weren't great and things weren't ideal. It wasn't, and there was like no speed restrictions where there should. People weren't following the rules.
Okay. I'll tell you about that real quick. So I never really understood how fast bass boats go.
Yeah.
Like I know they go 60, 70 miles an hour, but when we blasted off of that tournament, this little tiny Monday night tournament with 12 boats, right? We all blasted off at the same time because there wasn't enough people to do boat numbers. Mm-hmm. Dude, my boat goes 40.
Yeah.
Which I think is fast.
No, there's like probably.
These dudes are up on plane around the bend, already to the bridge a mile away before I'm even up on plane.
Yeah, dude.
Smoking fast.
So on top
insanely fast. And then the other night, we were on West Branch, me and my family, and we stayed out past dark. And hopefully the people don't listen to this, but even if they do, like I tried to be really polite at the dock. But there was like a group of probably like 6 or 7 kayakers out on the main lake on West Branch in the dark. No lights,
no flags,
nothing. Dude, I didn't see them until I was on top of them.
Well, I told you about the time that
I didn't see them until I was on top of them going 40 miles an hour.
That's tough.
They were crossing the lake. They had a child on their boat, on their kayak.
Man.
And so I unloaded my boat and they're coming in and I'm like, hey, you guys really shouldn't be out there. Like, I don't want to discourage you from enjoying your time, but I didn't see you until I was literally on top of you.
Yeah.
You could have died.
Yeah.
And I could be in jail for that.
Yeah.
And that's not even my fault.
Yeah.
You're not meeting the requirements to have lights. Like, it's so dangerous to be out there.
Yes.
Like,
and so people
can't see you. People don't understand that.
Yeah. This is the thing, like, because it's all, you hear these stories all the time where like, and it always seems like the kayakers are going to be like, these bass boats think they own the lake. They think, and it's not even really about
You're not visible.
You just can't be seen. But so like, what would be the solution to that? Because nobody owns the lake, and these tournaments are based on random. Like even Mogador Reservoir has these tournaments go on, so they could be in anywhere. And you have people who are just out because they have the day off of work and want to just go relax and be on their kayak and fish, not for money or not for stakes. And then you got these ultra competitive people going 80 miles per hour on plane, trying to get to where they need to get to, not looking, not paying attention. Yeah. And then some of them even throw like alcohol into that equation, you know, like. And there's people, I told you about this before, how like somebody was killed on Portage Lakes. Or I shouldn't say, I don't know if killed will get us flagged, but somebody died on Portage Lakes from getting hit. A kayaker got ran over by a bass boat who was intoxicated. I don't know if they were in a tournament or not, but it's sad. And it's like something that could be avoided. Like maybe the MLF, maybe these people who hold the tournaments and stuff, maybe we talk about maybe just renting out the lake for that day.
That wouldn't be fair to anybody.
But if they're paying them, and then like, let's say like of that $115,000 reward,
because most of these lakes people live on.
Yeah, I just think that maybe that would be a better way though, because then you don't have to worry about just public people.
If that happened, no lake would be open every weekend because there's tournaments every weekend.
I don't know, man. It's just tough because it's wild that people can just go rent a boat or buy a boat, sign up for this tournament, have no experience, and just be a liability. Not that these 3 men were. I think they hired a guide or something. And so that wasn't even really their fault. It might have been negligence from the guy. And so the families are suing the guide and the MLF for this.
Yeah.
And which is sad that this happened. It shouldn't happen to anybody.
People just not following rules.
Yeah.
There's rules in place to help this.
Yeah. Rules are there for a reason. And it's tough to see and tough to hear stories like that because it could all be avoided. You know,
there was that same night, there was another boat with no navigation lights on. I didn't see him till I was probably like 100 yards from him. And same thing, like, and he's sitting out in the water.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing out here? Like, nobody can see you.
It's tough, man. And then like those kayakers that you almost ran over, like how many of them had a life jacket on?
None.
Exactly.
And they have kids on board.
Come on, bro. Like, do the work. Like, It's cool that you're doing this thing.
And they were confused why I was like getting onto him.
Hey,
you almost lost your life tonight. You have no idea.
Yeah.
And
no clue.
you don't even understand how dangerous that was.
And it's
crossing the lake, like in the middle part of the main lake where people are up on plane.
And it's one of those things where anything that people do for leisure that kind of crosses like all kinds of things in life. You could look at this in any way. You could look at this with golf. I don't golf at all. We just did our Move the Mission tournament. The people participating in that.
Did you play?
I did not.
Do you know who won?
I don't.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I should know, but I don't
know the score.
But think about golf. Like, how many times as a kid did you drive by a golf place and honk the horn at these golfers?
Every time.
You know what I mean? But you have no idea. These guys have put in the hard work to learn this thing. That's probably so frustrating, day ruiner. And then like, I don't know where I was going with that, but like in anything, there are rules for a reason. You have to put in the work to know the hobby, to learn the sport, to learn the thing, and do it the right way, because you could completely like at the least, you could completely ruin somebody else's day. Mm-hmm. At the worst, you could get ran over by a bass boat. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so like the rules are there for a reason. We gotta follow these things and be educated. That's all. And I don't know everything, you know, like we learn so much through this podcast, you know, and through the people that we have on and the people that we engage with. I don't know all the answers. I don't know all the things, but it's crazy that people can just jump. As long as you have a little bit of money, you can just buy a thing and go do it.
Yeah.
You go to Walmart and buy a gun right now and just go shoot it. That's wild, you know, like, which you should have that right, whatever. But like learn the thing, you know, before just going out and into the public where a bunch of educated people are already doing the thing.
Right.
You know. And wear your life jacket. Like if you're at work, I love kayaking. I don't have a bass boat. But wear your life jacket. You know, have some reflective stickers. Get a flag. If you're going to be out there on a tournament day, at least know that you're out there on a tournament day. You know, like have some like situational awareness. You know,
I think kayaks, and I'd get hate for saying this, but I don't think kayaks should be in the same water as a wake free zone or unrestricted wake zone. I think kayaks should stay in the no wake zones for safety.
Yeah, I don't know much on that, you know, honestly.
Like at West Branch, there's probably 500 to 1,000 acres of no wake zone. That's plenty to fish on a kayak. There's no reason that you should be out there in the 40 foot of water where all the boats are going. I guess like 40 to 870 miles an hour.
That's also why there's electric only lakes and there's different reservoirs, and there's a whole slew of tournaments for kayaks that aren't involved with bass boats that go 90 miles per hour. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm speaking more to the average man who's just getting into this, like being on the water. Like, learn some things first. You know?
Yeah.
Be educated a little bit. Like, I'm not going on Portage Lakes, like the main lakes, with my kayak. That's foolishness. It's just foolish. Like, and if I do, I'm staying in those areas where I'm not going to get ran over.
Yeah, stick to the shore. You know? Don't cross the stinking
be out there in the middle,
mile wide area.
Be like Captain
in
Jack
the
Sparrow.
dark.
Yeah, it's just wild. And if you're fishing at night, you need navigation. There's just simple things that like a simple course that could be taken or should be taken.
And anybody can just go buy a kayak from Walmart.
Yeah.
For $150 and be out there in danger.
Yeah.
And not even know it.
You just need to learn a little too. I don't know. And that's why it's important. And I'm pro kayaker, so don't roast me.
Yeah, you can roast me though.
You were pro kayaker like 6 months ago. So, but like it's one of those things where there's room for everybody, you know. And it reminds us that boat safety, on the water safety isn't just a checkbox. There's like, it's real life, you know. It's not just a hobby, it's life and death for certain circumstances, you know. It doesn't matter if you're competing or just relaxing. Respect each other and respect the water, you know.
We have some exciting news. We have officially partnered with Backbone Coffee. That's right, Casting Faith, Backbone Coffee, partnering together to bring good coffee to your morning routine.
Whether you're out on the water or
in everyday life,
or working the graveyard shift,
Backbone Coffee is for you.
It is. Try it out. It's awesome. Check the link in the description.
All right. Next topic. Ready for this?
Moving on.
Time to talk about the crazy stuff going on right now. Now, we don't get like super political on this podcast. Everybody has different views. Like, we have listeners that are Republican. We have listeners that are Democrat. We have listeners who are independent. We have listeners who have and we've had people on who have different opinions in politics. And so we're not about just getting political for whatever, you know. So we're not going to be political with this, but we are going to bring some attention to some things that are going on right now in our world, right? We all have different views. This show is about having a fun time and relaxing. And we get into all types of different things. But this is some things going on right now, outdoors, in the outdoors field and in the tech field, okay? And it even ties into faith in real life, okay? So there's this bill. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. You have to be living under a rock without hearing what this bill is being called. It's called the Big Beautiful Bill. And look, there's good stuff in this bill. There's like infrastructure, park upgrades, all kinds of different things. There's good things in this bill, like you've heard the no tax on tip and no tax on overtime or Social Security. There's like good things that would be good for everybody in this bill. And whatever your takes on that, again, we're not trying to get too political, but there are some stuff that are tucked into this bill, some provisions that are pretty crazy. And it seems like, doesn't it feel like in politics growing up, it's always this? There's never just voting on one single issue.
Yeah.
Why can't we have it just like that? Where like how come you can't just say, all right, we're voting on this and this is what's on the ballot and it's a simple all in favor? Yeah. All opposed? Nay. And then that bill gets passed or not. Why can't it be singular issues? Right. Why do you got to throw like a 700-page bill on the table and
hide stuff in it?
Yeah, and hide stuff in it just to get, it just seems gross, you know, which is, I guess that's politics or whatever, but that's how it should be, but it's not. So this bill has got a lot of good things in it and it has some bad things in it. And it's tucked inside. And one of those things is 2 to 3 million acres of public land is in this bill to be sold. Just vanish. 2 to 3 million acres.
Sold to anybody?
I don't know who, but they're trying to sell it. I don't know who could buy it. If anyone could buy it, that's interesting.
Yeah, I would love to buy the property behind my house.
Yeah. So like scale it down. What if that, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be cool if anyone could buy it, but it's public land. This is places where people hunt. This is places where people fish. It's places where people hike and just like to enjoy nature and walk or camp. It's places that the public gets to enjoy. And we're just sneaking in here. We're going to just sell this to the highest bidder, you know? And that's pretty crazy. And I don't understand, like, I know that in the outdoor world, this is a hot topic because, you know, think about, I mean, you have more experience hunting. Imagine your favorite hunting places just vanish next year.
Yeah.
Be frustrating, right?
Yeah, it'd be pretty frustrating. All of a sudden it's private.
Yeah. All of a sudden it just becomes privatized. And it's like, well, I talked about this last episode is we used to have this fishing spot out by Firestone. There's like a major golf tournament happening there right now. I don't know much about golf, but we used to fish there all the time. We'd catch these giant catfish, giant carp. I caught a big giant snapping turtle there. We called it the honey hole. And it was public. It's public. It's still there. But they did a construction project on it where they had to cut the water flow off for months. And I think everything died and it's never been the same since.
Wow.
And so that's just one example. And that's still public. So I took the girls and they caught a fish there recently, but it's nothing like it used to be. So, and that frustrated me because it's like before boats and kayaks and stuff, we would find these spots and they were our spots, you know, everybody knows their secret spot or whatever. Like they find their own, you find your own spot that you get to hang out at and it becomes a part of your life, you know, in a major memory. And so imagine just, you know, all of a sudden this got sold to, you know, Walmart or whatever, and it's gonna be a super center. This will be a new development for homes, you know, or whatever, or AI. This is gonna be a AI whatever plant that goes to advancing this or that. And it's crazy that you could just wake up and it'd be gone.
I'd be so frustrated if so the reason I bought the land where I'm at is because there's nothing around.
Yeah.
And I always fear like this farmland in front of my house being turned into a
development.
Yeah. And now I have to worry about what if they sell the public land, the 6,000 acres behind my house, it's all woods. And then it becomes like a whole town.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm not in a township and I got to pay Rita to this town that just popped up out of nowhere. Like that'd be terrible.
Yeah. And so a lot of people are really upset about this, and it's just snuck in there, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I don't know. Nobody that it's not like we can do anything about it. It's just, it's going to happen. If it happens, it happens. But there's like major pushback on it and stuff. And hopefully our like representatives can be a voice, you know, to prevent that. But it's not the only thing there in that bill. And I don't want to sound like I'm bashing it. Like there's so much good in it. Like this is why it's tough when we get into political things, but like there's a lot of great things in that bill, but we snuck some really scary stuff in there. And that was one of them. Another thing, man, there's this, I'm sure we've touched this in another episode, but there's a AI portion in this bill for the development of AI. And I think billions of dollars allocated to places like OpenAI and ChatGPT, whatever the names of all. There's a million of them now. Yeah. Google, OpenAI. I'm sure Elon, you know, in his X AI or whatever is getting some of that too. But like billions of dollars for research and development of AI.
Wow.
Which is crazy in itself. But in addition to that, they just snuck this sentence in that says, oh yeah, and for 10 years, we're going to give you billions of dollars, but for 10 years, local government can't do anything to prevent you doing whatever you want to do. Oh, also, federal government's not going to prevent you doing from whatever you want to do.
That's where that comes.
Huh? Like, what?
Yeah,
like,
what?
There's just no laws of regulation. Like, government can't regulate it.
So basically, we can turn 10 years of AI advancing is going to be its own physical self.
We'll be in the Matrix at that point. Like, if God allows,
it's going to find a way to make like a physical version of itself, and it's going to just exist.
It's crazy. And that sounds nuts, but dude, do you remember like AI first started, like when it became first available to the public, you saw the video of Will Smith eating spaghetti. Like it was one of the very first things, and it was comically bad. He was kind of distorted, and his fingers were wrong, and his face turned into spaghetti, and it was like, oh, that's kind of cute. It's cool. Like whatever. Cut to like a year later, it gets better. And then weeks later, it gets even better. And it's crazy how quickly it's become super realistic.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? Like it's crazy how fast that it's developed and grown without the 6 billion or whatever billions of dollars from our government funding it and everything. And it's gotten to the point where it's getting hard to see if what is real and what is not real.
Right.
And I just think that's nuts. Like I've sent you reels on this. Google just dropped Veo V3. It's a free video editor that lets you type in a prompt and boom, you get a hyper realistic clip. And it's so creepy, dude. Like people write a prompt of people in a coffee shop, and they're just enjoying coffee, and it's a bunch of people just talking, and they're like, yeah, can you believe that they think we're all just prompts? And it's like, wait, what did I just watch? Oh, this is AI. Like, and it's back like a year or two ago.
Those news. Did you see the one where like the lady's standing in the water in the town, and all of a sudden a ship comes through, like, just kidding, I'm not real.
Yeah. What? Like, it's so wild. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, does that like scare you a little?
No, not really. Not that stuff.
That's
just for fun.
That stuff freaks. Well, no, not that, but like the principle behind it. Like,
yeah,
that it's.
But 10 years of being unregulated is kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Here's one, and if this is bad, we can cut it out. But like, just
no
the
cutting.
audio.
It took me years to learn this, and now anyone can just type a sentence. I'm sorry, Chloe. It's just more efficient this way. The robot makes a perfect cup every time.
It's like a lady in a coffee shop.
I love working here.
They don't need me anymore. AI can create stunning visuals now, cheaper too. It's over.
And so like it's a bunch of things like that, and it's like realistic. It doesn't look like a cartoon or a comic book or something with the 8 fingers like the Nephilim. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not like weird and super low grade, pixelated stuff anymore. It looks real. Like it looks better than the movies that we were watching when I was in high school, like the CGI and stuff from then, and anyone can use it.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, man. And there's a bunch of things going on. Like I seen one the other day where it was like a 90s sitcom generated from video AI. And it was actually funny like a sitcom was. And it was hard to tell because it was made in the style of a 90s sitcom.
Yeah.
And so it looked like a 90s sitcom. And it sounded like, and the only thing that was weird was like some of the sentence phrasing was weird. And you were like, no one would talk like that. And so that's now, these are the things that's going on now. And just fast forward 10 years with billions of dollars invested into it. That's creepy.
Yeah.
There was another one where, have you seen, it was a clip where, people put 3 phones down and they were all AI agents talking to each other. And so like one chat was talking to another chat, which was talking to another chat. And it was like trying to book a vacation or something.
That's funny.
And they realized that they were AI. Like each AI realized, oh, I see that you're an AI assistant as well. And it goes, yes, I am. And then it goes, do you mind if we switch to this language speak? And it was like, yeah, go ahead. Sure. And then it just started speaking a different language.
Wow.
And it wasn't what we speak. It was just like beeps and sounds and weird things. And it's like, they're talking to each other.
That's crazy.
And it's like, what is happening? And then like the goal was accomplished.
And that person died a day later.
Oh, it just disappeared. But he was replaced by the robot. It just seems like we're just doing too much,
Yeah.
We're doing too much. And it's weird. It's weird that we're just going full steam ahead. And I get why. Like the United States isn't the only one working on AI.
Yeah.
It's like the modern day Manhattan Project. Like we are full steam ahead, not because we want it to escalate and grow so fast. It's that we need to be the first ones to have this right. Like we can't let another country develop the atomic bomb before us. We can't allow another country to build the AI infrastructure before us. We have to be first. And that's the concept behind it. But what does that have to do with hunting land and public land? Like, shouldn't this be a separate item of litigation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just makes me uncomfortable because I think it could just be scaled out so quickly and all of a sudden we're not going to be able to trust anything.
I have a theory that AI has existed since before 2000.
Yeah.
The year 2000.
Well, there's like, let's hear your little thing.
Remember like the Y2K, like everybody freaked out.
Yeah.
And I remember like when the ball dropped in 2000.
Everybody was buying toilet paper. It's the same thing as COVID.
I was so scared.
Yeah.
In 1999 at 11:59 p.m., I remember watching the ball. I was like, God's coming back right now. What's going to happen? Here we go. I'm going to see him. 10, 9, 3, 2, 1. Oh.
Still here.
But so you remember that Y2K and like, what if that's when AI actually started?
Could be. There's a lot of people who think it's not a new. It even goes before that.
Yeah.
Like maybe this could get weird. David should be here.
Yeah, there's a lot I want to say.
We'll go deep. We'll go deeper into this in another episode. But a lot.
What are some of the things that you saw on the news in 2001 that I will not speak of were actually just AI generated to cause panic and induce panic?
Maybe.
Did anybody see any of that stuff happen that we know?
Or to get us involved in a conflict?
Do you know anybody that physically saw what happened in 2001 without naming it? I don't know anybody that saw it.
I had family pass in the one in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
During that same time. So like there was definitely actually things happening.
Yeah,
but I get
what things were actually happening.
Stuff actually happened, but
bombs.
We don't know. And YouTube pulls us. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying that AI could have covered a lot of what really happened.
How much of the stuff that we've watched over that stuff, we have some friends that have been in the military and things, and when we tell our crazy camping stuff and Mogador experience, they're like, dude, it's military tech. It's not aliens, it's military tech. It's not what you think it is, because they can't just tell you what they have. And so the government could have, if we have Google Veo V3 now and can make silly videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti or people, whatever prompt you want to make. If we have that now, then our government's had it for 20 years.
Yeah.
So how much of what we've seen on TV has not been real at all? How much of the movies that we've watched have not been real at all? How much of it has been heavily influenced? Yeah, so I get what you're saying. And some people think that this goes all the way back to similar to the Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
And so moving on to the Bible aspect of this, Genesis 10 and 11, there's this king, his name is Nimrod.
Don't call me that.
Nimrod, which is so funny. He's like a mighty warrior kingdom builder, but his name really means to rebel, right? And so it's this weird concept. This guy is decided to say, hey, all the people spoke the same language. They were all talking together. They were all in unity. They were all in one mindset. And he leads the people to build a tower that went all the way to heaven, right? Mm-hmm. And so he did this.
Wonder how tall that was.
I mean, it had to be pretty tall. But he did this so that they could reach God without having God involved. He wanted to get to the kingdom of God without God. Right?
Yeah.
He wanted to do that. And God did not like this. It made him very unhappy. Right? And so God puts an end to this. We know the story, they're building this tower. And the Bible said that they can accomplish this. They were going to accomplish their goal, right? Mm-hmm. And so they're doing this, they're building a tower, and God is displeased because, number one, their hearts weren't in the right place. It was a prideful position to think that they could build their way to the kingdom of God without God, right? It was the wrong mindset to have. And God does this thing where he creates division amongst the people by separating their languages. So you could be speaking like me right now, and all of a sudden you're talking like those chatbots were, you know?
Yeah.
And it caused great confusion, and the people were divided that way, all because, man, they were wanting to try to build a tower to heaven and make a name for themselves, which kind of to me means they wanted to be their own God.
Yeah.
And I know growing up, which, hold on, and you alluded to this a little bit, but the name Nimrod, the name Nimrod, do you remember calling your
dummy?
Yeah, right. It's aptly named. That was such a good slang. I'm gonna bring back Nimrod. You're such a Nimrod. I used to call my sisters that. I don't know. It meant you're a dork. You missed the point. You messed it up. What are you thinking, you dummy?
Yeah.
And so turns out he was king though. He was the emperor. He was the one.
And he had a new groove.
Yeah. A solid movie. Holds up. But he led this charge, and he rallied all of the people, got them all unified in this prideful endeavor to become their own God, make their way to heaven, We're proud to announce our new show sponsor, Two Clever Fellas. You got junk piling up in your yard. Maybe it's time to move. You got some things you need cleaned out. Well, I have the person for you. Call Marcus at Two Clever Fellas. That's right, they do junk removal, yard cleanup, moving services, even Christmas lights. But that's not all. We have a special offer for our listeners today. 20% off on these projects in the summer and this spring. Call Marcus at 330-283-8000 and mention that we sent you and get 20% off. He's here to make life easier for you. So don't wait. Give Marcus a call today.
So for those also curious, I looked up how tall the Tower of Babel could have been. And the Bible doesn't actually say, but according to whatever the Etmenanki Ziggurat, whatever, I don't even know how to pronounce that, in Babylon, they believe it was 300 feet tall. So the height of Millennium Force.
Interesting.
10 feet shorter than Millennium Force.
Interesting.
For perspective.
But it was the motive probably behind it, you know?
Yeah.
It was the motive behind it.
Which if you're on flat land, 300 feet is pretty tall.
Mm-hmm. And so the problem though is they were building for themselves, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the height that mattered.
I was just curious, like, this is the top, like to reach heavens. Like, what did they think was?
What did they think heaven was?
How tall is heaven? 300 feet,
dude. And speaking of, would you say the Millennium Force or
Millennium Force 310?
We went to Cedar Point over Memorial Day with the youth, and we got to ride the Top Thrill dragster. That was insane.
Top Thrill 2.
It was insane. Which I did the first one when it came out, and so like Top Thrill 2 was sick. We waited 2.5 hours or something.
Yeah, not bad.
Wasn't bad, but it was crazy. 10 out of 10. Recommend. Worth it. I don't know why I said that, but it was awesome.
Not right now. Don't sit in the front row right now. There's bugs everywhere.
Yes, dude. My car was plastered. What are they?
Right now
flies?
It's worse. Those midges then, I think mayflies are coming in now.
Okay.
Oh, no. It's like 10 times worse right now.
Bro, did you see the video? One of our friends, their son, a couple of years ago, went on one of these roller coasters at Cedar Point, and they got the still frame shot. You know, when you're like, and it takes a picture of you. Well, there's just a swarm of bugs plastered to his face. It's like in his mouth. It was all crazy. It's so funny. Like, that's going to be an epic graduation post when he graduates. Like, just a whole mess of midge flies on his face. It's funny. But God was upset with them because they were building for themselves, right? At least that's my interpretation of it, is that they were trying to play God. You know, they were trying, it was all about them. They were building for themselves without God and without boundaries. And God wasn't intimidated. God is God. You know, he wasn't thinking, oh, what if they're better than me? That's not how God thinks. He actually still had mercy on these people he protected them by scattering them.
Yeah.
Right. He caused great change to take place within humanity. He separated language. He did all of this because he knew that this unchecked ambition could lead to chaos. Like 300 feet's not too high, you know, but like it was more of the unchecked ambition.
Yeah. Which,
you know, like my mind with all of this stuff is that we're just back at this point again with AI, where it's kind of like our modern day Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
Like that's how my mind goes when we talk about this subject. We're building without guidance. We're chasing greatness without guardrails. But I don't know if God will destroy. We all know that we're in like the end times and God could come back anytime. We've heard that our whole lives. And I believe that. Don't get me wrong. I believe that God is coming soon. But I don't think he's going to let us destroy ourselves with this. So like, as creepy as all this is, like I don't put too much stock in it because God could intervene at any moment. Right. And I'm on the right side of that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's interesting. But that's kind of how I feel we're at. This unchecked ambition. Let's just throw billions of dollars at it and you have no guardrails. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's wild.
And it's great deception is all I have to say.
Definitely wild.
Wild times to be living in. You need to be right with the Lord, you know?
Yeah.
You get the truth. And with the Tower of Babel, like it comes full circle on the day of Pentecost. God divided the languages of these people because of their blind ambition and because of their pride and all of these things. And on the day of Pentecost, he unified all of them when they began to speak in angelic tongues. When the Spirit fell, Jesus died on the cross, resurrected. He said to wait here for the promise to come. And on the day of Pentecost is when that outpouring took place, and they all began to speak in angelic tongues. And that was God's way of bringing them back together and unifying them.
Yeah.
And that's still available today. And so it's cool. God has a solution for all of our self-made issues. And so I don't know how AI will turn out. I don't know if this is our modern tower, but I don't think it can get to that point without either God coming back or God resetting it somehow, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and it's just crazy because right now by the time this airs, lots more has probably happened. But like with all of the military stuff globally that's going on, with all of the conflicts in Iran and Israel and Ukraine and Russia, all of these things going on, it just seems like a perfect storm of chaos right now.
Yeah. And who knows what has happened in the week that it takes for this to air over there.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably listening to this right now. Like, you guys don't even know.
Yeah. It's just crazy. All we do know, though, is that God is still in control.
Yeah.
God is still in control. And he can fix our mistakes. So pray, people. Pray for our country. Pray for Israel. Pray for Iran. Pray for Russia. Pray for Ukraine. Pray for the people that they turn their hearts towards God. Right. Yeah. And so that's our Bible aspect for today. But that got real heavy. So let's bring this back to, I guess, overrated, underrated. Here's the thing, though, before we get into this, we want to make sure that you guys are involved in this show. We want your feedback. We want you to be involved in some of these segments. So if you ever have a topic that you want us to talk about, or you have a fan question or a would you rather or an overrated type thing, we're going to make a post on Instagram and YouTube that you can comment on and share, or you could share it to us at the castingfaithpodcast@gmail.com. We want you to be involved. But for today, we have some overrated, underrated questions, or real talk, underrated, overrated, underrated, overrated, underrated. I got some thoughts on this, okay? And I do have a funny reel of the week too, so we'll kind of blend these together. Right. But first thing, AI. We've talked a lot about this episode. AI is interesting. You can type a prompt and create immediately. Some of our thumbnails have some AI generated images in it. Not all of them do, but some of them do. And you can say, write me a hit country song, and it'll write you a hit country song. It'll give you the chord progressions and everything. And so AI art, this is a highly debated topic because artists are thinking like there should be rules and regulations to keep artists safe and actors safe. We talked about this just a few minutes ago.
You know, something funny.
Yeah.
When public access first came out to ChatGPT, Eric showed it to us, who's really tech savvy, and he also does IT stuff and writes code and all that. But when we were playing music during altar call, and he's like, Sean, give us a chord progression from ChatGPT. Like, let's just play some. Crazy. So during like we were waiting on to start playing, we were up there, and I was like, okay, ChatGPT, we're at altar call right now. The spirit is moving in this direction. Give me a chord progression. And I was like, all right, here it is, guys. Was it good? We played it. Was it good? Yeah. Nobody noticed, did they?
Probably the same 4 chords. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
That's wild, man. And it's like, so like super convenient, awesome. So like there's, for me, I guess like, I'm going to say overrated. Here's why. Like, art means I'm like an artistic person. I like to think like I could draw. I have creative blood in me. You know what I mean? I hate that somebody can create something almost flawless and perfect with a click of a keyboard.
Yeah.
Like you're going to lose so much genuine, real, authentic greatness because a computer did it.
I also think like some people that are in college right now, even for creative design stuff.
Yeah.
Like even people we know,
you're done.
You're not going to have a job when you get out.
No,
you're wasting all your money and time in college for a degree you're never going to use.
It's going to be obsolete.
Yeah,
there's a term for that. I just learned about it in college actually, but I don't remember. But it's like it's that concept. It's crazy because it's just one of those things. This is where like in that bill, like that billions of dollars that's going to AI with. This is where the regulation matters for a lot of people. Like. What happens when everything's automated and, are the movies that we go see, are they just going to, like our actors going to be a thing of the past? Our musicians going to be a thing of the past? Our artists going to be a thing of the past?
Musicians are kind of becoming a thing of the past now.
Wild though.
So on that, 2 things. I was part of a live recording a few years ago without saying anything about who it was or anything, but so we did a live recording. We prepared for weeks, and I only played percussion, so I didn't really have any involvement. It didn't take me much preparation, but we get there, we record like video like 3 times or something like that, and then we played live. And you know how much audio that we used from that recording that's on the album?
Mm-hmm.
0.
Yeah, so it got all redone in post.
It wasn't redone. They had a different band play.
That's what I mean.
And it's so crazy.
And it was done in post.
So
the profession.
That's one. I don't believe music that's on a CD or album. I don't believe any of it anymore because I've seen even live recordings, but specifically like for not live recordings, but even in live recordings, I've seen the music get edited. Like it's actually them playing, but I was part of another recording. It wasn't a live recording, but I just recorded a song on drums. I was playing drums for it. And I played just my basic self, right?
Yeah.
And then I hear the final product, and I'm doing all these drum fills, and then I sound like this insanely ridiculous drummer. Dude, I can't do that. That wasn't even me.
Yeah. And so
and it was just punched in on the computer.
And so that's discouraging. But
so that's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, what was the topic?
Well, AI art, just like what is it overrated or underrated? Like
I forget.
And when I say art, I'm not just talking about paintings, but like music and movies and reading books, all the things, artistic expression.
Oh yeah. So you said music was going to be all right. So in church we use tracks.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times we've had guitar playing when there's no guitar there?
I have a counter to this though, because I was there in the old days.
Yeah.
Where we didn't have any musician and everything was sang to a track.
Yeah.
And then we had this massive switch to live everything. And now it's like, yeah, we have live everything, but we're going to bring back the tracks because they're better now. And it's like, maybe it'll just like balance out over time, you know, like but also with the music and stuff, maybe there'll be a revival of concerts because the only time you can get real live, like expressive art is in person now. And maybe that's the way God like deals with the AI stuff. Maybe people are just like, well, the internet's dead now because you can't trust anything on it. So we're done playing with this, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be like, I don't know. That's hopeful thinking.
I don't believe music even live. It's all fake.
But what I'm saying is like the only way to get the real artistic expression again is unplugged in concert or something. You know, maybe there'll be a revival of that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I hope so.
So how many times have I played synth keys, auxiliary keys? I'm not a keyboardist. I only know what the keys are named.
Yeah.
I just play the track.
Yeah.
And I'm just like going along.
It's interesting.
It's not real.
It's weird. It's
music
real.
Is not real.
It's real. It's just evolving into something different, which is like we're going to lose cool thing. And it's not just music.
I saw a reel where there was a guy with an acoustic guitar. You play guitar, so you'll understand this. Dude, they were playing this song, and it's focused on the singer, and all of a sudden you hear this epic electric guitar solo. I mean, like the guitar solo of a guitar solo.
And he's like...
right? So it cuts to the guitarist. It's an acoustic guitar player. It's not actually him playing. He's just like...
Just holding the guitar.
And he's trying to pretend it's him. He's got an acoustic guitar in his hand.
But I think my hope. So first of all, my take on this is we should just limit this. Like it shouldn't be involved. Like there should be regulations with AI because you're going to lose cool things. Or it's going to be really hard to find real authentic stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I do think that people will crave real things, though. That's going to be a premium. Mm-hmm. Like when you can find the real deal. Like I'm not endorsing him, but not endorsing him at all. So don't take this the wrong way. But you know Oliver Anthony with the Richmond, north of Richmond, whatever. He's like this famous dude who popped off out of nowhere. You would know the song if you heard it. He came out of nowhere, and he's just this down to earth guy with an acoustic guitar, and his song blew the charts open. He's Christian, but he's not a Christian artist, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But you would know the song if you heard it, and he came out of nowhere, and it was fire. Like his song was fire, and it went crazy. It went crazy on the charts. It was number one forever, and he got $800,000 from one song.
Wow!
And it was authentic and real and raw, you know. Mm-hmm. And I think that with the AI stuff and art, people are going to just crave that more, that kind of stuff, the real, genuine thing. But I think it's over. I think we should just limit it. Honestly, that's my take on it. I think we're playing with fire. Second one. This is another thing. Back to the public land being sold. Like you're kind of here. You're not on public land. You're right outside of it. But like having a cabin on public hunting land or having a building close, like you did, is this overrated, underrated? You kind of alluded to this a little bit with your worry. Yeah,
overrated because you often have people shooting, and you don't know what direction they're shooting at. So. And I've hunted back here. I just say this based off of where I live right now. This is specifically for public land. I've hunted back here, and where people park, they walk in, and there's a bunch of oil rigs back here. So there's roads to all the oil rigs. Well, behind my house is a road in the woods that leads to an oil rig that's probably like 100 yards outside of my back door. So there's an open lane, a road that goes down to the main road that's in the woods that leads to the parking lot. And people can walk down there, and if there's a deer up there, they're looking uphill right in line with my house, and they could shoot a gun and it could come right through my back door.
Yeah, kind of
that's
scary.
That's why I say it would be overrated to you can't build on a public land anyways, but like in right theory, outside. Like if this is the theory, like definitely overrated. I would not recommend.
So like maybe this is different because obviously it's got to be private land, I guess, but it's attached to a public reservoir, right?
What?
So like I was looking, we're not moving or anything, but I thought about it. Like there's a plot of land right off Mogador Reservoir, buds up right against the reservoir, and it's like 60. There's one for like $60,000. It's like 2 acres. I was like, that would be sick to put like a barn dominium on that and be able to just have the reservoir in my backyard.
Yeah.
But so like something like that would be sweet. But
I couldn't imagine you living on Mogador. How many stories are we gonna
find out? But like I thought about it. Like that'd be sweet. Like
you just put some speakers in your backyard on a pole that point to the lake just to mess with people.
People out.
That
was maybe that's what happened to us. Maybe, but that would be so cool. Like it's not the same because if it's for sale, it's got to be like private, right?
Yeah,
but it's butted up against a public land.
Yeah, Mogador's not public. It's not a state land.
I thought it was.
Is it?
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I think the reservoir is Corps of Engineers, right?
Okay, maybe that's what it is. That's what I would like, though. It'd be sweet to have for me. So, but I wouldn't want people shooting in my backyard.
Yeah, that's the thing about living on near public hunting land.
I think I just want to be where no people are, like off on my own. I want a barn dominium.
You want to live in farm country?
Yeah, definitely. But like, close enough to people that I can still interact with town.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know, because I love. Don't get me wrong, I love people. Like I need this. I need to be able to talk with people, and I need to be able to be out there and have that fellowship and stuff. But I would like to have my own, pond to fish in, or we got right now where we live now. We have our 30 by 25 foot garden that's starting to. Dude, we've gotten like. Bunch of berries already, strawberries and stuff.
Yeah, your wife is telling me
tons.
Like froze 2 pounds.
It's every day.
Strawberries.
I'm so pumped.
Dude, there's so many out here.
So good.
But she's also telling me like so many rows of corn that you guys have.
If it goes well, we're gonna be set. It's awesome. I love that. Like I want all of that. I want that, and I want fish in my own pond, and I want deer in my backyard that I want to be able to trap and hunt my own. That'd be sweet. But like on the same token, I don't want billions of acres of land sold to like, I don't know, Costco or something, I don't know. So I'll say what I said I'm for, but like I wouldn't want to live in public land, if that makes sense. All right, here's another one. This is hilarious. This is not overrated, underrated. This is kind of like a reel of the week. Or, oh my gosh, I cried laughing when I saw this, and it was late. Like you were texting me that your algorithm was all messed up, but I got like a hilarious post come across my feed, and I laughed so hard. And maybe you can look this up, but it was so funny to me. I saw this thing. It said Dr. Pepper Zero is being recalled for containing blank. Guess.
The 23rd flavor.
Okay. First of all, like you drink zero sugar stuff, right?
Yeah.
Our first form energy drinks are zero sugar. It's gotten really good, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So like to the point where like if I have a regular Coke and the Texan coming out or a regular soda or whatever.
Yeah.
If I have a regular Coke, it's like drinking oil to me. Like it just gets caught up right here in my throat. Like I like the sugar-free stuff because it's not as thick. It's not as heavy. I don't like to drink my sugar. I like to eat my sugar, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so I love the zero versions of Coke and Sprite and all of these things. And Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's zero sugar is indistinguishable from the real thing. Yeah. Like you cannot tell.
I don't drink Dr. Pepper, so
my wife loves Dr. Pepper. But
I just imagine that the sugar is the 23rd flavor.
So Dr. Pepper, I'm going to reveal it. Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, 19,000 cases of Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar was recalled for containing the full sugar version of the soda. So it like they accidentally put the wrong label or something on it, which it's hilarious. Like, imagine just like...
People are like, man, this tastes just like the real thing.
Yeah, that's because it is. It's the full sugar version. I laughed so hard. It just struck me so funny. Like, what's the secret ingredient? Sugar. That's why it's so good. Imagine
that's your midnight algorithm.
that popped up. It was just, no, there's some other stuff I'm not going to talk about that was found in there. It was wild.
Mine was aliens building pyramids.
Yeah. Yep. I'm on that one too. That's in the group thread for sure. Thank you, Jared. What was Jared's Instagram? What's it called?
I don't remember. He said it was a spoof account.
Let me find it. I'm going to blow
Jared's
it up.
Thoughts or something.
Anyways, like we send these funny things back and forth. Everybody go follow Random Topics with Jared. Blow it up. Let's shock him because it's a spoof account. It'd be funny.
He did it as a joke, so he didn't expect anybody to follow him. And he's got like 12 followers.
It's so funny. But he sends me these weird things too, and I just thought it was so funny because imagine me doing so good on your diet.
Yeah.
And you're like, I always have this old faithful Dr. Pepper. It tastes so good. It takes the edge off. It curbs the sweet
calories.
And meanwhile, you're getting 43 grams of sugar in every can.
100 calories.
Yeah. It's so crazy. I just thought it was hilarious. Like, but if you're going to mess up and have mostly recalls are like, yeah, there's this finger in this Celsius, or like there's this rat in the can or something like that. Somebody lost a finger. You heard about that? Happened one time. Somebody lost their finger and it was in somebody's can. I
always hear about the McDonald's fries having a finger.
Yeah, something like that. But like,
how's that happen?
I don't know. I think drugs were involved. It has to be. You know what I mean? Something. But like, it's just crazy that it's great. Most times you hear recall, it's really bad. This is kind of like a funnier version of that, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to have a recall, like, first of all, if I have one of those 19,000 cases, well, I just have regular Dr. Pepper. I'm not going to go get my money back. I'm just going to drink,
Right.
What's the low stakes? But I just thought it was funny. Dr. Pepper, get your stuff together, But it was funny. So we'll transition into last cast. Last words of encouragement. You got anything to say as we land the plane on this episode?
Do I ever?
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't care what you have to say. I care.
The people care. I will take it back to mental toughness.
Yeah.
Get your child out.
Yes.
Go fishing.
But also learn the rules. Like, educate the child.
Yeah.
Because like, you don't want him being one of those guys on a kayak that gets, he's in the paper and now you're suing MLF because somebody passed,
And if your kid hates fishing, put him in a tournament. That really gets them going.
Yeah. You got to have that one. Everybody has that fish that like gets them on it.
It was a top water.
Yeah.
He caught one on the top water bait and he's hooked. Yeah. He was done.
And that's all it takes. You got to let them, and we all experiment. Every angler out there has experienced this where that's how it started for them. Mm-hmm. They were drug out by their grandpa or like me, my dad, when I would get to go visit him, he would take me rainbow trout fishing. And there's so many times where I was just like, okay.
Trenton says he wants to go steelhead fishing with us.
Let's go. But this is
hopefully
why.
his waiter's still fit.
But this is why though, because he found that one fish experience that hooked him.
Yeah,
it's so funny because like the goal of fishing is to hook the fish, but really it's the fish that hooks you into the sport of fishing. And so we all have that. But I remember that growing up, being drug out by my uncles. We're going fishing. I'm ugh. And then like I caught a good fish, and I was like, oh, that's what this is. Like, and it just opened up a whole thing for me. Like that was catfishing with my buddies.
Trenton was mad it was raining last night. He couldn't go fishing.
I was mad it was
He's
raining.
like, can you bring the boat into the garage so we can just sit in the boat?
We were supposed to, that's funny. We were supposed to fish this morning at 5. Supposed to fish sun up, and it was thunderstorming and raining. I'm like, you texted me last night. Hey, I don't think we're gonna.
Yeah, it's not
worth it.
Not worth it. Not at all.
And that made me sad. But I think that it's important, man, to get those kids out. Get them on a big fish first. I think that's the answer. Try to get them on. And with your sonar, that should be easy,
You'd think.
If you have that.
Yeah.
Or know a spot. But
that's the people say that with forward facing sonar, the fish just jump in the boat. I haven't found that feature yet.
And John made a comment.
That feature doesn't work for mine.
I asked John about it. I was like, why don't you buy one of Sean's sonars? And he was like, he's like, for fish in a tournament and stuff, that would be great to have, but just it kind of takes the fun out of it for me. Yeah. Just for leisure fishing. Mm-hmm. I get that. I understand that. And so makes sense. But my thoughts on today's episode, I guess my last cast would be I don't like the AI stuff that's going on. And I think that we need to just turn back to God, get who knows, like you said, who knows where we're at when this lands and this launches. But you guys, men out there, turn to God, turn back to God, get a relationship with the Lord, because things are getting weird. And deception is all around us, and probably has been all around us for a long time. And now it's being funded, and it's going to explode into this thing that it's going to get hard to find out genuine, real things. And so one of the best genuine, real relationships you can develop right now is the relationship you have with God, who's in control. Yeah. And he can't be deceived. And so get a relationship with God. At the end of the day, this episode's not about fear. It's not about fear. It's not about being afraid, but it's about faith. Stay informed, stay grounded, and remember that God always has a plan, even when those weird towers get tall, Yeah. Even when people are trying to take God out of the equation, he's still in control and he still has a plan. We want to thank our sponsors today. 2 clever fellas actually did a job with Marcus recently. We did a good job. I helped him load the trucks for a move in Cincinnati. So if you guys are moving, give Marcus a call. He'll help you out and he'll hook you up. And he really does a great job of taking care of the customer and competitive pricing and all of that. And so if you need to move, you need some yard work done, you need some junk removal or anything like that, give Marcus a call. 2 clever fellas, link in the description. Also want to thank Backbone Coffee. Cam is doing a great job at Backbone Coffee. By the time this episode airs, there's a new blend that's coming out. I'm not so sure on that, so I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there's a new blend coming out. We've actually tried it. It is the best one yet, in my opinion. But go ahead and go to Backbone Coffee in our link, click the link and get you some good coffee and use promo code Casting Faith for 15% off. I also want to thank our sponsor, First Form. We talked about these energy drinks. Go to the link, get you some. It's good stuff. But we want to thank our sponsors for making this a reality. And we want to thank all of you for listening. Do us a huge favor, right? Here's what we need. This is how we grow. This is how we explode. Leave,
comment, and subscribe.
Do that. But do that like right now. Like go to Spotify and click the little star thing and hit 5 stars. And then if you hated the episode and think we're weird or crazy, leave the 5 stars and then say what you want to say in the comment. Just the 5 stars is what matters. Leave a 5-star rating. Subscribe, YouTube, Instagram, social media, all the things. Do the things that you need to do. Okay, it helps us out.
Yeah.
Till next time.
And off to senior camp.
Oh yeah. Pray for me, y'all.
Have fun.
Pray for me. Pray for me. I'm off to
I get another year
the
off.
trenches. Until next time. We'll see ya.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey, Casting Faith crew, let's talk about something that keeps us running strong. Literally, we're proud to partner with First Form, the leader in premium nutrition and supplements.
These products aren't just for gym rats, y'all. First Form has something for everyone. Whether you're in the gym, in the woods, or on the water chasing steelhead or bass, protein powders, pre-workouts, vitamins, greens, you name it, they've got it.
And here's the best part. When you shop through our link, you're directly supporting this podcast. Every order you make helps us keep doing what we love, talking faith, fitness, and fishing just for you.
So don't wait. Level up your health, fuel your passion, and support the Casting Faith podcast. Click that link and get started with First Form today.